Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Dray Way. Unlike any other day, I got background music today. How cool is that? So yeah, if you hear background music, it's being piped around here. But welcome to the Dray Way. I have a great show for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 100,000 and I need your help. But we got a great show, so let's get started. Let's go. Hey, welcome to the Dray Way, and I hope you know the news is out. This is the big news. It's going on right now. What is the big news? Matt Gaetz. Yeah, the Matt Gaetz report is out, and it's just as disgusting as we thought it would be. Yes, the whole thing with sex and drugs and, having sex with minors. Yeah, the full report is out. Have I read the full report yet? No. Have I read some excerpts? Unfortunately, yes. And all I can say is it's as bad as you think it is. And the thing I have to ask before we go any further is, where are Republicans? Where are they? Where are they stepping forward and going, yeah, this is disgusting. This is terrible. This is horrible. This is awful. This is really, really, really bad. This guy shouldn't be in position for anything. And the worst thing about this is Donald Trump knew about all of this. He knew about all of this. And how dare you, Donald Trump, how dare you put somebody like this up for the number one position in America for law enforcement? How can you even consider that when Matt Gaetz is basically a disgusting monster? Yeah, I said it. He's a disgusting monster. And he literally has no friends in the House. And I can see why. Because they knew about this behavior. They knew the things he did. And the thing I can't help but ask is, why is he not in jail? Why have charges not been brought up against this man? And if all of you people knew this about in the House, that he did these things, why would you allow him to continue to serve? And there's only one reason. There can only be one reason that you allowed him to serve. And that's because there are others in the House that have done similarly disgusting things. That's all I can think of. If you can think of something else, let me know. But all I can say is, maybe they're all looking, going, oh, yeah, that's bad, but Charlie over here's done this, and Tom over here's done that. What does that say about us? What does that say about the House of Representatives? That you have people this disgusting, this gross, serving this country. Yeah. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just can't stop but sit back and go, how, as a leader, how, here you're going to be an effective leader. You're going to be president of the United States. And you think it's a good idea, after reading this report, after knowing what's in this report, you think it's a good idea to put him in charge of the entire number one police guy in the country? You think that's the position he should have? I'm almost speechless. I just can't believe that we're here. I can't believe that we're allowing Donald Trump to put the worst people, terrible, terrible, awful people that have done things to children and women, and we think that's okay. And nobody, the thing that just upsets me the most is, where are other decent human being Republicans? Where are you? Why don't you step to the microphone and go, no, this is wrong, this is awful, this is terrible, this is disgusting. And this behavior is not suitable for anyone to be in this type of position, to be in the leader of anything. Where are you, Republicans? How come none of you have stepped forward and said, yeah, this is awful, this is terrible? Why do you continue to hide and say nothing? That's the number one problem I have with the Republican Party. You guys got no guts. You got no guts whatever to step forward when someone is disgusting, and the Republican Party doesn't matter to you. Doesn't matter. He's a Republican. He can be as disgusting and horrible and terrible as he wants to be. And that is the reason I would never be a Republican. I could never disgrace myself like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Welcome to the Dray Way. I am so glad you're here. And if you hear music in the background, that's because there is. But welcome to the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. Stay right there. I got more for you. My grandfather was a businessman, and he was all about business. And a good example of that, it was the summer of 1977. And I was 13 years old, and I was living on my grandparents' boat next to Cedar Point on Lake Erie. Cedar Point is right there on Lake Erie, and I was 13 years old, and he's paying me $4 an hour to clean his boat. So I'm getting $4 an hour, I'm cleaning his boat, but at 4 o'clock, I can go into Cedar Point, I can walk right into Cedar Point for it was like $6 or $6.50 or $5.50 or something like that. It was really cheap, and I used to love running over. Of course, I'd go on the rides, but I'd love to go over to the games because that's where all the action was. All the action was at the games, you know. And at the milk toss, there's a softball. You had to put it was called the milk toss. You had to throw a softball. You had to throw a softball into a milk container. All right. So I would go over there and I would do it all the time. That was one of my favorite games. I got so good at it that the guy banned me from doing it, you know? So I was giving the guy a hard time. I was going over there. I go, dude, why are you banning me from the game? And he goes, you take all the big stuffed animals. I can't have you doing that anymore. He goes, well, why don't you work for me? I said, work for you? He goes, yeah, you can work and you can bark. I said, bark? He goes, yeah, get people riled up to play the game. And he goes, and I'll split a commission with you. I said, all right, you got a deal. So I started going to Cedar Point and barking at the milk toss, where you had to take a softball and throw it in one of those metal, big, giant, milk things, And I could do it with a flick of the wrist. And it's just a nice, easy lob in. And I made it look so easy, of course. And here I am, a 13-year-old kid, and I'm giving all these guys a hard time. They're walking with their girls and stuff, and I'm like, guy, look at this big, giant elephant. Wouldn't you like a big giant? Oh, yeah, babe, get that for me. And I go, all you got to do is just take one of these and just flip it right in, just like that. And it would go right in, It would go right in on the first toss, I said, see, it's easy. So guys would try it all the time, and of course, it wasn't as easy as I made it out to, but I had just done it so many times that I was used to it, And one day the guy looks at me and he goes, hey man, I gotta sit down, go to the bathroom. He goes, I'm gonna leave you here for a few minutes. Are you okay? I said, yeah, I got this. Don't worry about it. He goes, all right, don't do anything stupid. I said, I got this. Don't worry. So he runs, and to use the restroom, and I'm standing there, and there's this guy that has a big gold chain on, a big gold cross, dark hair, big diamond pinky ring, And I said, yeah, you're with a beautiful lady. Sure, you want to give her a pic. Lady, wouldn't you like a big giant elephant? And she's like, oh, I sure would. And I said, watch, buddy, watch how easy this is. And I just a little flip of the wrist, and it just went right in. I said, that's how easy it is. He goes, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. He goes, I'll give you $20. How many tosses do I get? I said, $20. I said, you're going to give me $20? I'll give you 20 tosses. You throw one in, she gets the elephant. He goes, you got a deal. So he throws it 20 times, not one goes in. He plops down another 20. 20 tosses, not one goes in. He does it again. 20 tosses, not one goes in. He goes, hey, pal, come here. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, how about you just give me the animal and I give you a $100 bill? And In 1977, you didn't see $100 bills. I mean, a $20 bill was pretty rare, but $100, I was like, it's all yours. And I took the $100 bill, put it in my pocket as fast as I could, and gave him the elephant, and he was happy as could be, So the next guy sees him, and he comes up and he goes, I want to throw 20. Here's a $20 bill. I'm like, great, go ahead. Because, again, $20 bills were like $100 bills back in 1977. So, of course, he threw it 20 times, didn't make a single one. And he walks over to me and he goes, how did that guy get the big animal? I didn't see one go in. I said, he gave me a $100 bill. He goes, a $100 bill? He goes, show it to me and I'll give you one. I said, show it to you? And I pull it out. I go, here you go. And he's like, wow. He's like, wow, really? He goes, all right. And he hands me a $100 bill. So I've now got $200 bills in my pocket, So I think I might as well be I'm the richest man on the planet right now, So the guy comes back and he notices two of the elephants are missing. He goes, Dray, two of the elephants are gone. What happened? I said, the guys won. He goes, they won? I go, yeah. And I said, and you won too. He goes, well, what did I win? And I reached in my pocket and I pulled out a $100 bill, and you should have seen the look on his face. He was like, are you serious? I go, yeah, this is for you. And he's like, you can get rid of all the elephants if you want. Those cost me $1.50. He goes, if you get $100 for these elephants, he goes, you can get rid of them all day. I said, I got you. Don't worry about it. But that's not the whole story. So I go back to the boat, and, after the park closes, and my grandfather's like, you're spending all day at the park. I'm paying you good money, Drayton. I'm paying you good money to clean this boat. I said, Grandpa, it's costing me money. He goes, what do you mean it's costing you money? I said, Grandpa, to be honest, I'm making more money at the park. He goes, you're making more money at the park. Sure you are. Show me the money you made at the park today. So I reach in my pocket and I have a big wad of money. And of course, on the outside is a $100 bill, and my grandfather looks at it, looks at me, looks at it again and goes, you keep working at that park. He goes, I'll clean the boat. You keep working at the park. And that's when I knew my grandfather was the ultimate businessman. Because as bad as he didn't want to clean the boat, he wanted to make sure his grandson was making the bucks. So, yeah, that was the summer of 1977, Cedar Point, Lake Erie, Ohio. What a great time. Stay right there. I got more for you. I'll be right back. And a final thought, I just wanted to talk to you guys about a random act of kindness, And when I say a random act of kindness, it in the true spirit of Christmas, just think about something that you can do for somebody else today. Today's the day, the day before, Christmas Eve. Today, just think about something nice that you can do for somebody. And it doesn't have to be somebody that you know. It can be somebody that you don't know. For me, I'm going to stand in line at the grocery store. Whoever gets in line behind me, whoever it is, whatever they do, that is going to be my random act of kindness for the day. Whoever gets in line behind me, I'm paying for whatever is in their basket. It could be one item, 100 items, I don't know, but whatever it is, whoever gets behind me today at the grocery store, I'm paying for their basket. So if you're in line for fast food, if you're in line for Starbucks, buy the drink for the person behind you. Start a chain that hopefully that'll put a smile on a lot of people's face today. But just think of something nice to do for somebody else. I promise you, there is nothing will make you feel better than having done something for somebody else. And just doing a random act of kindness on a day like this, in a season like this, can go a long way to making a lot of people really, really happy. So from me to you, have a wonderful holiday. Yes, I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Christmas Eve. I'll be back on Christmas Day. Thanks for joining me for the Dray Way. I'm glad you were here, and I hope you take my words of advice and just do something nice for somebody today. Whether you know them or not, it'll make you feel so much better, and it's all in the Christmas spirit, right? Thanks for joining me on the Dray Way. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're here again tomorrow. If you want to check out some of the other episodes, I have lots of them. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you again tomorrow. Merry Christmas.